Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Well, as you can see, today family has usually having more than one car in a house. And you know that this is the reason why the traffic is really jammed and the sun is really hot. It's actually because of the family having a private transportation and using it so often. And so this is why we are suggesting that we start using a public transportation. But of course, we also understand that you'll be using a private transportation as important as you want a private transportation because of many reasons. But the point is that public transportation is also worth it. This is why today I'm going to convey two reasons why the government should be improving our public transportation more, because this is actually a popular issue in social media, but it's not really well distributed around Indonesia, and it's usually distributed in a business city like the capital Jakarta or Yogyakarta. And so I'm going to deliver two arguments, which the first will be the benefits of the consumer using public transport, and then why using private transport is really contributing much to the climate change. And finally, I will conclude my speech. Now, moving on to my first argument is that the public transportation helping you alleviating your pressure. Well, the point is when you're migrating somewhere, when you're driving, you're actually, if not working, you're going to school or you're going out with your family. But the common reason, the way you're driving, is because you're working. And when you're working, we actually being pressed by the deadline or something, and that's what you're thinking when you're driving too. And so the pressure will even be worse when you're having a traffic, when you're being so frantic. Are you going to be late or not? So you're being so pressured. And it's a fact that is being published on 2017 by Kominfo that 61% of the traffic accident is actually caused by the character and the competence of the driver. But that's not the point. The point is you're being so depressed that it's also affecting your character and your well-being on deciding something. So this is why this matter becomes so important, because on the other side, if you're using a public transport, you can relax and letting the driver doing your bidding. And so yeah, it will reduce your pressure. And thus I believe that public transport benefits the consumer by relieving their pressure. And that's so we're moving into our next argument, which is actually private transportation not only contributing to the traffic, it's also contributing to the sun that is become more hot. Imagine this: you're on the traffic and the other is also having a private car. Just how many private cars are there on that road or something? Of course, there will be so many, and there will be stacking. And what worse is that cars and everything is actually contributing to the nation's carbon emission. And according to a data that is released in 2019, there are 27% of carbon emission on the industry sector is being contributed by the transportation alone. Well, it's not much, but it's not the only thing that is affecting the carbon emission. And so if you're using private transportation, not only you're being jammed on the street, especially if you're in capital Jakarta or something. I don't have to prove this. We already know what Jakarta is like, but the sun will become more hotter. Maybe you don't even feel it that the sun become more hotter, and it's actually the surface of the earth that is more hotter. But soon your children will be. So this is a matter of the importance. So thus, I believe that driving on private transport will make the traffic more jam and the sun hotter. And so now I'm concluding my speech that the government should install more public transport mainly based on my two arguments that are we have to be more concerned about our well-being. Imagine you're being pressured on the street, um, and instead of getting your pressure gone, you're actually increasing it even more. And on the other side, if you're just letting the driver doing their bidding for you, you will not be pressured. And so thus I believe that the government should install more public transport. Okay guys, that's all for me. I'm Atha. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.